Shalom, shalom. Sorry we got cut
Shalom.
off. We were in downtown and they only allow you an hour online, so we got cut off, but we will reply to the comments on that video. This video is for everybody, but we want to reach out to our sisters because it is definitely very important that we come together for such a time as this. It's going to take us to stand up in righteousness and truth, and to stand in the gap for not only ourselves but our brothers, our children. So we just wanted to basically open up the floor. You know, so many times the females are not given any place in society. We're not given any place to really come together, and we know who we are. We know the importance of us, but we've been told that we're nothing. So scripture says otherwise. Indeed, Eve was created first. Adam was taken from her womb. So with that said, that lets us know just how important and valuable we are. Sister, is there anything you want to say in particular?
I mean, you know, I just come in when I feel it.
You just come in when you feel it.
Yeah.
So we can open up.
Well, I mean, I feel all of it, but you know.
You feeling it, sister?
Always.
All right. So we can open up with the scripture. I had read a little bit of it in the last video that we just did, and I'm trying to pull it up now. Here we go. For the female to stand up and to take her place is going to be vital to the nation of Jacob, or the nation of Israel, being restored. Isaiah chapter 32. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fall. For the vintage shall fail. The gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city, because the places shall be forsaken. The multitude of the city shall be left. The forts and towers shall be for dens forever. A joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks. Until the Spirit be poured upon us from on high, and the wilderness be a fruitful field, and the fruitful field be counted for a forest. Then judgment shall dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness remain in the fruitful field. And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. And my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation, and in sure dwellings, and in a quiet resting place, when it shall hail coming down on the forest, and the city shall be low in a low place. Favored are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth thither the feet of the ox and the ass. Sister, can you pull up Ezekiel 22, 23 on down? So, in the word of Ashah, it's showing us that it's time for the females to rise up. It's not a feminist movement, but it's for us to rise up and take our places. Eve was formed first. It is the natural order of things for the woman to be the head. That's why it says that a man will leave his mother and his father, and he will cleave to his wife. The word cleave means to follow close. Brothers, you were created to cleave to us. You were created to till the ground, to gather our food. You were created for companionship. Sex, as we know it today, did not exist in the days of old. Shah himself brings forth life through the womb. He plants the seed. He sows it. He forms us in the belly. He makes us in the womb. It's plenty of scriptures that I posted earlier that confirms this. Kenneth says, show him that. He may agree to Ashah's creation at the same time. Why wasn't all 12 tribes named after women? Well, Kenneth, we believe just how they changed the story of Adam being created first and Eve coming from her womb, his rib, I'm sorry. We believe that just how they lied about that story, they lied about the prophets being men.
Because in Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8, it also says that the scribes lied.
You want to put, okay, let me pull that up right quick before you continue with that. Jeremiah chapter 8, verses 8 through 9. How do you say, we are wise, and the law of Ashah is with us? Lo, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes is in vain. The wise men are ashamed. They are dismayed and taken low. They have rejected the word of Ashah, and what wisdom is in them. So these wise men that interpreted our records, they intentionally rejected the word of Ashah and inserted what they wanted. Mm-hmm. And it's the same way with brothers today, not just the men, but females too. You cannot accept the truth because it's not written the way we're telling it to you. Mm-hmm. And so this is why Ashah says that don't put your trust in man, because cursed is the man that putteth his trust in man and make flesh his arm. Come to me in spirit and truth. You don't have to go through a mediator. You don't have to go through fake Jesus. You don't have to go through fake Yahushai and fake Yahuwah. You can come, or a camp, or a priest, or an imam, or none of that. You can come to me directly. Ashah is a spirit. He's not a man. When you go to Isaiah chapter 11, verse 2, it tells you, and the spirit of Ashah shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of Ashah. Ashah is not a man. He's not the son of a man. He's a spirit. And so are we. We're spirits. And I'm going to show you that we're spirits. In Ecclesiastes 11, verse 5, it says, as thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of Ashah who maketh all. Ashah made our spirit, and he made our flesh in the womb. We're not a man's sperm. Our existence is more than the sperm of a man. You cannot bring forth a spirit through your sperm. Your sperm is the result of an orgasm. Just like a female, when a female has an orgasm, she ejaculates too, you just can't see it. Also in reference to the 12 tribes, only the tribe of Judah exists. This is why the promise is given. Ashah 12 tells us when you go to Zechariah chapter 12, as a matter of fact. Ashah says, as Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7, and Ashah also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Only Judah exists. And so we were talking because sister was like, well, maybe the whole 12 tribes things is a farce too. You know, because we know that Ishmael had 12 sons too, right? So it's going to take us seeking the spirit of our maker to really get to the bottom of this thing and to really unravel all of the lies, because men lie. And when I say men, I'm talking in general, men and women. So we don't hate men, just for the record. We don't. We love the truth. We love the truth. So this is not this whole journey. And, you know, for the past few months, we've been sharing information that goes against what we've been taught. And so men are taking it personal because you have been made to feel like it is you that is bringing forth life. You've been made to feel like that you're someone that deserves to be worshipped, and that's just not true. Ashah himself is the king, not a man. So we're gonna pick back up on the females rising up. And please, brothers, if you have any questions, sisters, you have any questions, Ashah say, let us reason. We're just a mouthpiece. We're just being used. That's it. We're nothing special. We're flesh just like you guys. And he can use whoever he wants. He has no respect of persons. So the title of this is Rise Up, Ye Women That Are at Ease. Sisters, it's time for us to stand up in the gap for our nations, for our men, for our children, for ourselves, lest we perish. Can we come together in spirit and truth and fasting and prayer for such a time as this? And so we read Isaiah 32, 9 through 20. Now we're at Ezekiel chapter 22, verses 23 through 31.
And the word of Ashah came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto her, Thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls, they have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law, and have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between thy holy and profane, neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves ravening the prey. They shed blood and destroy souls to get dishonest gain. And her prophets have duped them in untempted mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus saith Ashah, when Ashah hath spoken, the people of the land have used oppression to exercise robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. And I sought for men among them, that they should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, and I should not destroy it, but I found none. Therefore have I poured out mine indignation upon them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath. Their own way have I recompassed upon their heads, saith Ashah.
So, ladies, we need to come together in fasting and prayer. Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 17. Thus saith Ashah of hosts, Consider ye and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for cunning women, that they may come. And let them make haste and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run down with tears, and our eyelids gush out with waters. For the voice of wailing is heard out of Zion. How are we spoiled? We are greatly confounded, because we have forsaken the land, because our dwelling have cast us out. Yet hear the word of Ashah, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into the windows, and it entered into our palaces to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. Speak, thus saith Ashah, even the carcasses of men shall fall as dung upon the open field, and as the handful after the harvestmen, and none shall gather them. Thus saith Ashah, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Ashah, which exercise love and kindness, judgment and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Ashah. Behold, the days come, saith Ashah, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised. So to say that because you're circumcised, and that means you're set apart, brothers, no. Circumcision is a blood sacrifice to demons, and Ashah makes it crystal clear here. Behold, this is Jeremiah 9 and 25. Behold, the days come, saith Ashah, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised. Egypt and Judah and Edom and the children of Ammon and Moab and all that are in the utmost corners that dwells in the wilderness, for all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart. Circumcision is a heart condition. It had nothing to do with the flesh. Ashah gave you your extra skin, your extra foreskin on your penis, because he knew you would need it, not for you to cut it off. He said
that's an Egyptian practice.
It's an Egyptian practice, sister?
Yes, that stems from Egypt. Just like all the other things that they talk about in the Bible, like the animal sacrifices and the incense, all that's physical. Those are things that we see. That's all satanic stuff. Ashah is a spirit. Why would he need material things to prove for us to prove ourselves is about the spirit. That's why he talks about the heart when he says, what is that you always say, sis? You talk about, what verse is that? You talk about the heart of the righteous. I don't know what verse it is, but we know that heart is just a carnal way to say it when we know it's about the spirit. It's not about anything fleshly that can be broken or torn.
Right. Because knives and things that you use to cut were created by the fallen angels when you go into the book of Enoch. Ashah says we've been worshiping strange gods. The book of Deuteronomy, verse 32. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed it to devils, not to Ashah, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your father feared not. Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten Ashah that formed thee. Ashah forms us in the womb. And when Ashah saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of the sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not Ashah. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with the foolish nation. These pale races that rule over us, they're a foolish nation. They have sucked us into their foolery. For instance, the presidential elections. For the past few months, Negroes have been just so dumbfounded with the Trump and Hillary propaganda. And so now, they have us thinking that Trump is going to be in office and it's going to be, and he's going to build a wall, and it's just a bunch of foolishness. But nobody's talking about what the scripture says. We have a lot of Hebrew Israelites that claim to love Ashah, or you call him Yah or whatever you're calling him. But you don't even know his word. You're not taking out time to study to show yourself approved. You're not seeking him diligently, like hidden treasure, like he says to do. You can't just expect to receive revelation knowledge and you're not putting in work. It's just like a job. If you don't put in time, sweat, blood, and tears, you're not going to get promoted. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
And it's like they reject stuff without even researching it. Just because it's something that's not common. The truth isn't common.
It's not common, especially when the world is given into the hands of the wicked. It's not a popular topic. The truth has been hidden from us. And so the book of Daniel tells us that in that last day, in the day of trouble, that knowledge is going to be increased. And so this is that day. You can see what's going on. I mean, I can't even imagine the energy that's going on in North America. But I know it has to be pretty scary. Depending on man has not given you a sure end, like Ashah says that he will give you an expected end. Your end right now, depending on a man, is very unexpected. You don't know what to expect. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, sister, the last two verses. The book of Isaiah tells us what's going to happen to the mighty men in the war. We were just reading in, let me read it again so that you can see the connection in Jeremiah 9. Jeremiah 9:23 says, Thus saith Ashah, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, And why shouldn't the mighty man glory in his might, sister? What does Isaiah 3 and 24 and 25 say? I'm sorry, 25 and 26.
Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men,
Speak
and
up,
thy
sister.
mighty in the war.
Start it over and speak up so they can hear you.
Thy man shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground.
So Ashai is telling us that the mighty men are getting ready to die. The ones who put their trust in themselves, the ones who want to be worshipped as gods. The book of Enoch tells us, you think you're a god, you're going to die like a man. It's the same with Psalms 82. I have said ye are gods. Ashai was talking to his Elohim, his angels, but you shall die like men. So that's the fate that you want. You're going to get it. Isaiah 3 and 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. You can't depend on your own strength. You got to come back to Ashai. He's our arm. He's our strength. He is the king. It's not a man. He doesn't share his glory. What does Isaiah chapter 4 say, sister, is going to be the result of this war that's getting ready to happen? The same days of trouble that Daniel 9 spoke of, when Michael, the great prince, was going to stand up for the people, the Negroes.
It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach.
So this is what we have to look forward to. It's only going to be a few brothers that's going to be saved, because so many men are reprobate. Ain't no love from these brothers. And it shows when we make posts and we have brothers coming on, bitch this, bitch that. Like, who does that? And you supposed to be righteous? And you're telling me that I need to follow you and that I shouldn't teach so I can't learn? That doesn't make any sense to me. When Ashai says he has no respect of person, he can use who he wants to use. What about Deborah? Why nobody ever talk about Deborah? Let's pull that up in the book of Judges chapter 4. They say, well, woman can't teach. Well, Deborah, she judged the whole nation of Israel. She ran the whole land. Judges chapter 4, verse 4. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time. And she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah, between Ramah and Bethel and Mount Ephraim. She even had a palm tree named after her. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. The children of Israel came up to her for judgment. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, hath not Ashai of Israel commanded, saying, go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men, and the children of Naphtali, and of the children of Zebulun, and I will draw unto thee to the river Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, with him chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thine hand. And Barak said unto her, if thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor. For Ashai shall sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali and Kadesh to Kadesh. And he went up with 10,000 men at his feet, and Deborah went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Habab, the father-in-law of Moses, had severed himself from the Kenites, and pitched his tent unto the plain of Zanam, which is by Kadesh. And they shewed Sisera that Barak the son of Abinoam was gone up to Mount Tabor. And Sisera gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him from Harosheth of the Gentiles unto the river Kishon. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day which Ashah hath delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not Ashah gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. And Ashah discomforted Sisera, and all his chariots and all his hosts, and with the edge of the sword before Barak. So Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away on his feet. But Barak pursued after the chariots and after the hosts unto Harosheth of the Gentiles, and all the hosts of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword, and there was not a man left. Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. For there was peace between Jabin, the king of Hazor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera, and said unto him, Turn in, my lord, turn in to me, fear not. And when he had turned in unto her into the tent, she covered him with a mantle. Mantles are spoken of in the book of in Isaiah chapter 3. And so that lets you know that the daughters of Zion are both male and female, not just the females. And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him drink and covered him. Again he said unto her, Stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man doeth come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? Thou shalt say, No. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent, and took a hammer in the hand, and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples, and fastened it into the ground. For he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. Ashah used a woman to take down such a strong man, such a mighty man of war. Ashah told Barak to go fight Sisera, and I'm going to deliver him into your hands. Barak was scared. He said, Deborah, I ain't going unless you go with me. Deborah was a prophetess, the judge of Israel. So for you brothers to say that Ashah cannot use a female that we can't teach, the devil is a liar. Ashah wants us to teach. We are the first teachers when we give birth to our children. It's the female that the children, both male and female, look to learn. We're natural born teachers. Even in the apocalypse of Adam, I'm going to pull that up. Adam told Seth, Eve taught me knowledge. Not the other way around. Sister, you have anything to say?
Well, I just jump in when I shall put something in my spirit. But as far as the prophetess things goes, also, what is that? Let me see. 2 Kings, verse 22, verse 14 and 15. So Hilkiah the priest and Ahikam and Ankbor and Shaphan and Asaiah went unto Huldah, the prophetess, the wife of Shalom, the son of Tikvah, the son of Haraz, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in a college, and I communed with her. And she said unto them, Thus saith Ashah of Israel, Tell the men that sent you to me. The whole scripture wasn't in there, but basically in that scripture they was talking to, it was a group of men that went to a woman to hear the word of Ashah.
This sister say your head should be covered, sister. She put up 1 Corinthians 11 and 15, but didn't you say she should keep reading?
Yeah, for
sister,
that one.
Bijah, Yisrael Shalom, Empress, you should keep reading 1 Corinthians 11. Keep reading on down and see what the covering of the woman is. It is her hair.
Yes.
To cover your head is a sign of mourning and shame, and there's nothing we're ashamed about when we're teaching the truth of Ashah.
In verse 15 it says, But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering.
Your hair is your covering, Empress. Shalom.
And then Ashah, he's a spirit. Why would he have us again use something physical to cover our flesh? Our flesh is a curse. It's about our spirit. It's not about anything that's vain.
Yes.
That's all vanity.
So when you look into the apocalypse of Adam, this is Adam talking to Seth. It says, "Listen to my words, my son Seth. When Ashah had created me out of the earth, along with Eve, your mother, I went about with her in glory, which she had seen in the eon from which we had come forth. She taught me a word of knowledge of the eternal Ashah, and we resembled the great eternal angels, for we were higher than the God who had created us, and the powers with him, which we did not know. Then Ashah, the ruler of the aeons and the powers, divided us in wrath. Then we became aeons, and the glory in our hearts left us, me and your mother Eve, along with the first knowledge that breatheth within us, and it glory fled from us. It entered into which had come forth not from this eon from which we had come forth, I and Eve your mother, but it, knowledge, entered into the seed of great eons. For this reason I myself have called you by the name of that man who is the seed of the great generation, or from whom it comes. After those days the eternal knowledge of Ashah of truth withdrew from me and your mother Eve. Since that time we learned about dead things like men. Then we recognized Ashah who had created us, for we were not strangers to his power, and we served him in fear and slavery. And after these things we became darkened in our heart. Now I slept in the thought of my heart." This is from the Apocalypse of Adam. You can Google it online, and you can see that when our ancestors fell, when Adam and Eve fell, the stuff that we know today is not what they knew. They knew Ashah personally. We are trying to get back there. Adam said that Eve taught him knowledge. Why did Eve teach him knowledge? Because life comes from the womb and not a rib. Eve was formed first, and Adam was taken from her womb, and it said he was delivered. Let me get the word.
And it also said it in what you just wrote. It was talking about Ashah makes the seed.
He makes the seed. When you look into the word, let me pull it up in the book of Genesis, where it talks about, it says that Adam was put to sleep and a rib was taken from him, but that's just not true. Mm-hmm. So when you look at Genesis 2 and 21, the word for flesh, when you look into your Strong's Concordance, is pudenda. It kind of sounds like punani, right? Mm-hmm. So the word pudenda, it says that Ashah closed up the flesh. So the word pudenda, P-U-D-E-N-D-A, and I'll put this stuff in the comments, is a person's external genitals, especially a woman's. Adam was delivered from Eve. So Adam also said that Eve is the mother of all living, including him. So was Adam her son? Have we been taught that Adam is Eve's husband when he was really her son if he came from her vagina? The deception is deep, brothers and sisters. And only now has knowledge increased, because it is indeed Jacob's trouble. And so it's why Shah says to flee out of the midst of Babylon. Only 1/10 of our people are going to survive from Babylon. Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 13. We'll just get right to it. But yet in it shall be 1/10. We'll start at verse 12. We'll start at 11. So Isaiah 6, 11 through 13. Then said I, Ashah, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. And Ashah have removed men far away, and there be a great forsakening in the midst of the land. But yet in it shall be 1/10, and it shall return, and shall be eaten as a teil tree, and as an oak whose substance is in them. When they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. 1/10 of our people in North America is righteous. And those are the ones who will be joining us in Peru, South America. Peru is Zion. It's where Asha dwells. He said he was jealous for Zion, and he is returned there. We are the descendants of the Inca warriors from Peru. King David reestablished that kingdom. We can see that in the book of Samuel. Scriptures say that David took Zion. We know that our enemies have the ability to time travel. So actually, the past, the present, and the future is all happening at the same time. It's why they were able to give us scripture and tell us what's going to happen in the future. This thing is deep. It's real deep. I'm going to pull it up to show you how David took Zion and why he took it. Because in the beginning, when you read the book of Jubilees, it tells you that Canaan stole Shem's portion after Noah divided the lots. Continents don't exist. Only the Americas does. The book of Genesis chapter 10, verse 25 say the earth was divided. But then you go to verse 32, it tells you the nations were divided in the earth. Only the Americas exist. 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 7. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, and the same is the city of David. David took Zion back because it was Shem's portion in the beginning. We are the descendants of Shem. Shem is Ashana. We are the Ashans, and the name of our maker is Asha. So, sister and I are headed back to Peru, and Asha is going to make a way. He's already shown us the way. It's already made. He said, I prepared the way before thee. He has already made the way for our brothers and sisters, that 10th that's going to make it. Scripture calls it a highway. The book of Isaiah chapter 11, verse 16. And there should be an highway for the remnant of his people, which should be left from Assyria, like it was to Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 23. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria. And the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. In that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria, even a favor in the midst of the land, whom Asha of hosts shall favor, saying, favored be Egypt, my people, and the Assyrian, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. Isaiah chapter 35, verse 8. And an highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. And the unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men. Thou fools shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall be found there. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransomed of Asha shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness and sorrow, and sighing shall flee away. Brothers and sisters, we being redeemed. And Asha is using females to lead the way because it's the natural order of things, right? What does Jeremiah chapter 31, 22 say, sister? I'm going to pull it up for you. This is not a feminist movement. It's righteousness. Jeremiah 31 and 22. What does Asha say he's doing?
How long wilt thou go about, O thy backsliding daughter? For Asha hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Why? Because it's the original design, right? Shalom, Miss Tracy. I hope all is well, beautiful.
Hello.
Olivia, shalom. This time is for us, ladies. Keisha, shalom. Shalom, Reuven. Janique, Uziel. Marvin, shalom. Kenneth, shalom, brothers and sisters. Asha say, let us reason. You know, we have been worshiping the male for such a long time. We have put him in the place of our maker. And that's not what he wants. Ashah is the king, and I'm going to show you. He's going to be the king. He's always been the king. Even when Israel wanted a king, they wanted a king ruling over them in the days of Samuel, the prophet. Samuel was very upset. Ashah said, give him a king. But the king that they get, I'm going to choose the king because I am the king. So I'm going to choose their king, and I'm going to put them through. They're going to wish they would have never asked for another man to rule over them. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 9. And Ashah shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one, and his name one. Zechariah 14, 16, and 17. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left out of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king, Ashah of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the king, Ashah of hosts, even unto them shall be no rain. No rain, no food. It means a famine. So he will starve you to death if you do not reverence him. All of this belongs to him, to Ashah. He formed Eve. He formed Eve with the ability to bear male and female children. Genesis 1. Both Cain and Abel had twin sisters, but they never talk about that. Genesis 1, verse 27. So Ashah created man in his own image. In the image of Ashah created he him. Male and female created he them. He created Eve with the ability to bear twins. My sister and I are pregnant with twins. It's not ironic. It's not misinterpretation of the scriptures. Adam was formed in Genesis 2. It wasn't even a man to till the ground. Genesis chapter 25, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for Ashah had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. Genesis 1, Eve is created with the ability to bear male and female children. Genesis 2, Adam is formed and taken from her womb. Adam was formed to till the ground, to gather the food. I can show you that too. What the word till means. 2 Samuel chapter 9 verse 10. This is David speaking to the sons of Saul. Saul was murdered, him and Jonathan. And David asked the house of Benjamin, well, does Jonathan have a son that I can show love to? Because Jonathan and David were tight. They were not gay. They was tight in righteousness, brotherly love. 2 Samuel 9 and 10. Thou therefore and thy sons and thy servants shall till the land for him, and thou shalt bring in the fruits, that thy master's son may have food to eat. This is why Adam was formed, to till the land, for companionship, not nothing sexual, because in the days of old we were created, we were spirits in the beginning. There was no need for penetration. We didn't even, when Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden, they didn't even have a stomach. When you read the books of Adam and Eve, they didn't have legs or none of that stuff. They were spirits. So today's definition of sex has nothing to do with conception of life. We have been reduced to carnal minds. We have been brought so low. Even Adam tells you in the Apocalypse of Adam, we learn dead things. Man. We're dead, right? Ezekiel 37. Can those bones live? Can those dry bones live? Ashah say, oh, yes, they can. Oh, yes. And so this is where we are, right? Let's get it. Ezekiel 37. The hand of Ashah was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Ashah and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass them round about. And behold, there were very, very many bones in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Ashah, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy to these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Ashah. Thus saith Ashah unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am Ashah. So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then he said unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith Ashah, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me. And the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off of our parts. Therefore prophesy, and say unto them, thus saith Ashah, behold, O my people, I will open your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am Ashah, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I am Ashah. I have spoken it and performed it, saith Ashah. The word of Ashah came again unto me, saying, moreover, the son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah, and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions, and join them one to another in one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not shew us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith Ashah, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus saith Ashah, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two nations any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Ashah. And my servant David shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They also shall walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. David is the prince, not king. There again, you heard him say, and David my servant shall be king over them. Ezekiel 37:24, the scribes, the pens of the scribes is in vain. They just change what they want to. Ashah is our king. Ezekiel 37:26, moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It should be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. Ashah multiplies us. He brings us through the womb. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their Ashah, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I am Ashah. Do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. The dry bones will live. Negroes in North America, we lost our heritage because of disobedience to Asha. Psalms 83. All nations are confederate against us, even our own brethren. Psalms 83 in verse 8. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. When you look into your concordance, Ashur, actually your scriptures, Ashur is Shem's second son. Ashur is also the real Assyrian. Assyrians are Negro, are our own people, line of Shem. They sold us out. Just like your Jesse Jacksons and your Al Sharptons and your Oprah Winfreys and all of these fake Negroes. Even your MLK, Martin Luther King. Right? Ashar always told us to stay separated from the heathen, but all of a sudden he has a dream. And he said he led us into a burning house. But Ashar, he said he's going to save us. He's our savior. Not no fake God in your fake testament. It's nothing new under the sun. He says to seek the old paths. There's nothing new under the sun. We have to get back to the beginning. Even with our diets. Ashar said the herbs of the land is for meat. He said, why are you bringing me the blood of bullocks and of lamb? I don't eat blood. I don't want you eating blood. We have to get back to the beginning. Before Eve and Adam fell, it was very simple. The commandments that he gave us in Genesis 1. What he said in Genesis 1 is what he means. We got to get back to the beginning. Ladies, we are going to play a very big role in the restoration of our people. Don't let no man tell you you can't teach. Because when a man tells you you can't teach and you believe it, that means you can't learn. And so you don't take it upon yourself to study. You just wait on him to teach you something. Ashar says, do not put your trust in man. Do not make flesh your arm and forget it, him, your maker. Because when you do, you curse yourself. And so we wonder why our life is full of hell. We've cursed ourselves, trusting in man. Brothers, the same with you. Trust in your maker, not a female.
Or another man.
Or another man. And this is for the brothers and the sisters. You know my past. So no more wickedness. Just cut it out. You say you want to be happy, you want peace, you want this and that, but how do you expect to get that living a wicked life? We need to be eating to live and not living to eat.
Obedience. It's about being obedient. I mean, what you can do is, I know Asha is saying to leave, and many aren't leaving, but I feel like it's because it wasn't, meant for y'all to leave. A lot of y'all that's not leaving is going to have to go through. Asha is giving y'all warning to leave, but instead you want to stay there. You're going to have to suffer before you're wrong here and see all the stuff that scripture says you'll see. These men dying, people getting raped. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's going on. Asha's calling us back. All you got to do is listen and be obedient. I mean, yeah, sister, I don't know.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of Asha cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of Ashah of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man have taken up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee, every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You can't pay them off to not kill you, to not rape you. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Ashah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Destruction is not going to happen years from now. It's at your doorstep right now.
It's sad.
It's very sad what's getting ready to happen. But Ashah say, let's reason, brothers and sisters. Let's reason. Let's break bread in the word of Ashah, because that is the living bread, right? His word is the living water. And let's reason. If you have any questions that we can help answer, if you have any comments that you would like to make, and let's teach one another. Let's come together in spirit and truth. This is the final hour. We can see the signs. It says that Babylon has become a haven of demons and devils. You can do everything in Babylon, North America. Nothing is forbidden there anymore. Every evil, every vile thing you could possibly imagine, you can do it in Babylon. And we don't think that it's fallen, like your New Testament says. Babylon is fallen, it's fallen. It's fallen. It's dead. It's dead man's land.
Don't y'all feel the energy there? Like,
the
I know
energy.
Y'all can feel it because it's a lot of people talking about death.
It's so many people on my timeline talking about dying too.
I don't see. I mean, and then the ones that do believe that they gotta go, why are y'all staying there? What's holding you back? Like,
somebody told me they got student loans. Are you kidding me?
I got student loans.
Student loans is you're gonna sacrifice your life for a fake student loan?
It's the whole banking system is fake.
Everything is fake. Do you know that you cannot pay your mortgage with the dollar in California? You have to get a certified cashier's check. The dollar is done. You think you got a fat bank account with some fake paper monopoly money? You better spend it while it's still usable and get out of North America. It's done.
I don't know. It's like y'all want to suffer or something. What are y'all waiting for? Like y'all waiting to see it at your doorstep? That's what it seemed like. It's like today, people don't believe stuff until they see it.
It's going to be too late.
You hadn't seen that stuff. You're going to wish you had enough. It's too much. Why would you want your babies to go through that? A lot of y'all babies are going to die because y'all didn't leave. A lot of y'all husbands and wives going to die.
And not only die, they're going to be raped.
And right in front of your face.
Right in front of your face. It says ravish. The word ravish means to rape. The wives are going to be ravished. They're going to do it to the men too. Because if you do the research on the history of slavery in North America, the slave owners would rape the strongest men. They call it buck breaking.
Right in front of the kids and wives.
They would bring the whole clan of slaves, tie the man's hands on each side and spread his legs as wide as they could and tie his legs, and the slave owner would rape him.
Yeah, that's hard for me to even hear. So I could imagine how the person that's going to be seeing is, how they going to feel. But it's deeper than that. It's about Asha. If he's really first in your life, I don't see why it's so hard. I don't see. I don't get it. He did so much for us. And a lot of y'all feel like he owes us something. He owes us nothing. But yet he's giving us it all.
She said, don't you think that when it's time to go, Asha will call us as a majority? He's calling you now. He did say that he's going to save us. The book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 1. Again, the word of Asha of hosts came to me, saying, Thus saith Asha of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus saith Asha, I am returned into Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called the city of truth, and the mountain of Asha of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus saith Asha of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus saith Asha of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith Asha of hosts. Thus saith Asha of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Asha in truth and in righteousness. So yes, he is doing the saving right now. He tells us to flee. He tells us to leave. We can get that too. The scriptures on flee, it's not a doctrine. It's in the word. How can it be a doctrine when it's written in the scriptures? Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 28. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Asha, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against Asha, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith Asha. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith Asha of hosts. For thy day is come, and the time that I will visit thee. Zechariah chapter 2, verse 5. For I, saith Asha, will be unto her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith Asha. For I have spread you abroad. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heavens, saith Asha. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. For thus saith Asha of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that touches you touched the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that Asha of hosts have sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion. For lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith Asha. He's telling you to leave Babylon, North America, because those people there touch the apple of his eye, which is you Negroes, and he coming to recompense them.
He's saying we don't got to go through
You don't have to be a innocent party to their destruction. Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward they shall come out with great substance. Ashah is judging North America for what they did to us and our ancestors. It's getting dark here in Belize, so we apologize that you can't see our face. We can stand up though, because we're going to be ending this soon. But Ashah said to speak to the ladies, speak to my beautiful ladies, my beautiful empresses, and let them know to rise up, ye women that are at ease. It is indeed time for us to rise up, brothers and sisters. Ladies, you in particular, we are leading the way. We are going to lead the way. We're going to be restored. Eve was formed first. Adam was taken from her womb. Actually, he was taken from her vagina, just like we deliver children today. And I'm going to post that proof in the comments. Eve is the mother of all living, even Adam. So was he her son? The pens of the scribes is in vain. Jeremiah 8 and 9.
Right, and for those that's keeping the laws or trying to keep the laws, we can't just go by reading the laws. We have to research them and seek Ashah for understanding, because a lot of the stuff that they say you're supposed to do is not true. And that's obvious when it comes to eating animals, because Ashah says don't kill. It don't say don't kill, and it don't say don't kill animal and don't kill man. It say thou shalt not kill.
Period. Isaiah 66. Let's see what Ashah says to those who kill animals. What is that likened into? Isaiah 66, 3 through 5, 3 and 4, sister. What does Ashah say?
He that killeth an ox is hold on, let me start over. He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrificed a lamb is as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offered an oblation, as if he had offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense, as if he blessed an idol. Yeah, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations. I will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not.
Ashah is not into human sacrifice, so nobody died for your sins. He's not into animal sacrifice either. And we're going to give you more scripture on that. Psalms chapter 50, verse 7. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am Ashah, even thy Ashah. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he-goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the bloods of goats? Offer unto Ashah thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto Ashah, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked Ashah saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, then thou contendedest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. It goes on and on and on about the lies. Ashah is not into blood sacrifice of any kind. He don't want you cutting the tip of your penises. He gave you the extra foreskin because you need it. It's not setting you apart for anything, brothers, because all the nations circumcise. So they set apart too. It doesn't make any sense. He says, circumcise the flesh of your heart.
Do y'all know what they do with the skin?
What they do with the skin?
They use it to make clones. They use it to make clones.
What are clones?
Clones are copies.
Copies of you. This is a very wicked. We had no idea how wicked this world is. The scriptures say the world is given into the hands of the wicked. We know that Satan was cast to earth. So guess who running things? Guess who we've been worshiping as Ashah? The devil himself. Imagine that. He deceived the whole world, right? It's not happening in the future. It's happening now. Since the beginning. He deceived Eve. So he's deceiving us too. Ben. Aha, we love you guys. We're going to put comment. We're going to put some stuff in the comments. Shalom, Nisi. We're not in South America yet. We are in Punta Gorda, Belize. Ashah has had us here for 4 months. Since we've been here, we've been unlearning the Babylonian ways. We've been taking cold showers. We have been learning how to not be afraid of the dark. We've been sleeping in the woods.
Fire. Cook with
wood. we have been cooking with an open fire. No gas or electric stoves.
We even bathe in creeks.
We were bathing in creeks. We don't use soap or deodorant anymore. We were bathing with actually leaves, natural leaves that produce the foam that they use in your soap anyway. They call them, it's a bell or something.
A red bell.
The red bell. It's a plant called the red bell, and the leaves produce a lather. And it lathers just like a soap. Everything is natural. Shah said he doesn't dwell in buildings or anything made with the hands of man. He's in nature. So he wants us in the wilderness, sleeping in the woods. And we have had a chance to do that. We just recently left a place where we were living in the jungle because the guy there, he wanted to force me to be in a relationship with him. Nigga went and got I had been craving peanut butter and sweet bread and some bread because we're both pregnant with twins. And he went and bought me some peanut butter and some bread and sweet bread, and I guess thought that was going to make me say yes. You know, he had been at me for a while like, brother, no, we're here for righteousness.
Told him from day one.
So we were forced to leave there. We're now in an apartment type situation. It's actually kind of like a not a rooming house, but it's like a hotel / we got the apartment. We got the apartment. We ain't just got the room. So Ashah, he showed out, you know. Man. And all praise to him for looking out for us. Yes. You know, we've been through a lot.
But he's been giving us everything
yes,
we need.
He does. He supply all of our needs, and we're just living examples of that. And he wants you guys to do the same thing. Just let go of everything. Let it all go.
Stop. We ain't got no money.
No, we don't have money, but it's like when we run out of money, Ashah, he lays it on somebody's heart to send us money. And that's how we've been making it. So, Toda, thank you for everybody that has sowed seeds. It's not about you guys taking care of us or just being lazy. This is what Ashah, he's using us. Yes. And this is how he designed our life from the time we came here to now and what the future holds.
And it's not stressful.
We're not stressed out because we don't have money, because we don't know where our next meal is coming from. We don't worry about it. The birds and the bee, they don't worry about it. They know that they're going to be taken care of. Every day they get up, they're going to find some food. And so it's like, you know, the same with us. But we don't have to do as much as they do. Ashah loves us so much.
All we got to do is research and teach his word.
That's it. We are the royal priesthood. Brothers and sisters.
Y'all stronger than what y'all think y'all are.
That's right, ladies.
Push yourselves. Encourage yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you.
The brothers too. You know, stop drowning in self-pity. You know, stop wishing and start doing.
If you're holding on to something, forgive and let it go. Holding a grudge only holds you back. There's many things that can be holding y'all back mentally. Pray and ask Ashah for understanding. Why are you still there.
Why?
Why are you stressed? Well, we know y'all stressed because y'all staying there. Because you could say you happy because you got a job, but having a job is stressful.
And even having a car or having a house, you'll never own anything because you got to pay taxes. So that's just an illusion. Even once you pay it off, you're still paying for it. Stop being deceived, man.
Don't y'all want to grow your own food? The food y'all eating is poison.
It's poison. Everything is in your food, from aborted fetuses to feces to everything.
Even
chemicals.
for the people that's trying to be vegan, it's still products in the vegan food.
Man, brothers and sisters, please.
That's why we got to go to Zion, because we'll be able to take our food right off the tree.
Yes.
Right out the ground.
No additives, no special ingredients, right? No special sauces. Everything is straight up how Asha intended it in the beginning. Genesis 1, the herbs of the land is for meat. He told Noah the same thing in Genesis 9.
He said to bring the animals to keep them alive, not to eat them. Y'all eat the animals. Yes.
He told Noah, save this and say, keep them alive, Noah.
He said, bring food for you and the animals. Y'all eating the animals and don't want to accept that we're not supposed to eat the animals.
We're not, brothers and sisters.
So then you telling me it's okay for a lion to eat us?
It's not.
Those, even Satan created animals. The animals thing, that's a whole nother level.
Yes. But we're going to connect with the ladies more.
Yes.
Maybe we can go on once a day. We're in a place where we have internet now, because it's time for the sisters to rise up, you women that are at ease. It's time for us to do our part.
We still have the brothers.
Yes, we do have the brothers.
Sisters.
We love you.
It's the sisters. It's mainly men that's watching, but the majority of them don't want to hear. They don't want to listen. And to me, that's why it says there'll be 7 women and 1 man. Because the majority of the men aren't listening. Because they want to be praised. They want people to come to them to seek the truth. Instead of saying, okay, well, this might be it, but, seek our maker for understanding, or even trying to research stuff. They don't want to do it.
That's right, sister.
I just pray that the remnant, those that will make it, I pray that y'all start seeking Asha. If you haven't already, start doing your research. Don't just accept what you want to or accept what we've been taught. It's more. It's way more than what we think it is. This is all an illusion. Everything around us is the spirit. Everything works together. The air, the wind, fire, the clouds. The grass, everything. This stuff that can be broken down the houses, all this stuff is bad for us. Everything that was created around us was created to destroy us.
What's in the materials that they build our houses with? What about these air conditioning units? You got AC in your car.
Even the washer and dryers.
Everything. You are inhaling the Freon. You got to put Freon in your cars to for the air to blow cool, but you're not realizing you're inhaling those chemicals. And so then a couple years later you got cancer. Or you got your AC blowing all the time in your house. You never open up the windows and get no fresh air. And the same thing, you're developing all type of illnesses.
And then for the ones that's still going to the doctor, why do y'all still trust these doctors? How do y'all know that the white or that the pale race has inflicted all these diseases on us, but you still go to the doctor's office? I understand that your conditions could be bad, but you gotta have faith. My son had real bad asthma to where his nose would bleed. But we would pray and read scriptures, and that would help him. It might sound crazy to those, but it's all about faith.
Let's go on the light, sister. So we're trying to get off, but we're here for our people. We don't have nobody that's teaching us the truth.
But we have Asha.
And
we have no physical person.
Right.
We do invoke thought in each other, but it's Asha that puts that in us to help each other understand.
Right. And so that goes to say, too, that we cannot depend on nobody to teach us the truth. We have to seek the truth on our own. Brothers and sisters, you can't be waiting for somebody to explain something to you or for somebody to break something. That's showing Asha that you have no faith in him. And he doesn't like that. You cannot please him without faith. You have to have faith in him and trust that he will speak to you just like he do others. Because he will. He formed you in the belly. It was him. He formed you in the belly. He knew you before he took you from the loins of your mother. You're a spirit first. You're not just a piece of flesh. You're more than that.
Y'all gotta fight. Y'all gotta fight for your spirit. Fight for your mind, because this demon's constantly attacking you.
Constantly. I mean, since we've been here, we've been victims of witchcraft. The man was working. I don't know what he was doing to me, man. Felt like my whole body was on fire.
We had people making special meals for us.
They was cooking special meals. This is a special spaghetti.
We got some special water.
Right.
We had to stop drinking water for a minute.
Like, seriously. Like, dang, he done made some Kool-Aid, girl. This Kool-Aid good. What?
Sister, why you so hot?
Right, burning up.
Man. And we still wasn't stressed. We
Yes.
we gotta go.
Shalom, Crystal. So, hey, how are you? Yashahua. Shalom, brother. Aha, we love you too. So, brothers and sisters, we pray that you will take heed to the word of Asha.
Yes.
We're going to post scriptures to show you everything that we've been saying. It's all written in the word of Asha. Seek his spirit. He is a spirit, not a man. Mm-hmm. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 2. The spirit of Asha is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, counsel, might, and the fear of him, respect. And, that's about it. Leave Babylon. Leave North America. Come with what you have. We're in Punta Gorda, Belize. But I would advise you to go straight to Peru. The cost of living in Peru is cheap. You can get a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment for $500 US a month. That's like living in the hood. A couple brothers and sisters come together. You don't have to have your own place. Me and Dominique been sharing a bed since we've been here. Mm-hmm. So now we're finally have our own bed, which is great because Dominique, she just...
I like to sleep in an angle.
That's right. And so, and I'm like...
And then I be all up on her
like Asha, please, I'm trying to have patience. And so he's been testing us. Well, how will you live with you say you love your brothers. You say
and we don't know each other. We just met when we got here.
We just met.
We learning. We still learning each other.
That's right. And so it's the same, brothers and sisters, for you. Marshall, I'm going to delete you because I'm so tired of your immaturity. You're supposed to be a grown man, but you act more like a child. This is no playing or joking matter. And so I'm going to delete you and then I'm going to block you. Asha said I could. Because he told us not to block our brothers and sisters. There's a lot of brothers that's being disrespectful. He said don't block them. You can't block them. You can't unfriend them. But I've just really been seeking him about you. And now's the time. So with that said, sister, you got anything else you want to say?
I ain't paying Marshall no mind because he be on my page too, but he is annoying. But as far as the ones that are serious, because obviously Marshall isn't serious, we have all of you. We want the best for y'all, and we want y'all to really just seek Asha.
Yes, and let's come together in fasting and praying. Let's come figure out a day and time. Maybe we can do it every day. We need to do it every day. We need to be fasting and praying every day because our life is on the line. Our lives are on the line, brothers and sisters. The lives of our children, of our husbands, of our moms, our dads, our brothers and sisters, it's on the line. These demons are not playing, and Asha is bringing this evil on us.
And then for those that, do want to save their parents or their kids or whatever your situation is, you may have to leave without them.
What did you have to do, sister?
I had to leave my son, but, Asha has revealed to me that it was just a test. I knew it was a test from the beginning, but he's told me that you know, my son is coming soon, and I really believe, well, I know he's coming because it's Asha that gave me him, and I know he wouldn't take him away from me.
Indeed, sister.
So all I can do is try to encourage, you know, well, all we can try to do is encourage, you know, our people. Hey, Crystal. But yeah.
Leave by faith, brothers and sisters. Leave by faith. We did. I came here with $600 back in the end of August. I had 600 US, which is 1,200 Belize, because the money, every dollar is two here. I think Dominique had, what she had, 2,000?
Yeah, American.
She had 2,000 US, which is 4,000 Belize, but somebody was robbing her. So we didn't even see the whole 4,000.
Yeah.
Her money was being stolen without our knowledge. Because she wasn't counting it. We were just figuring, you know, we had people, we were in a house.
We could trust.
Right, we were in a house. It was supposed to be all righteousness, but everybody wasn't here for righteousness. And so money was being stolen. But with all that said, Asha has been making a way for us.
Yeah, everything happened for a reason.
It did.
You know, he wanted us fully dependent on him.
And not making a way for ourselves.
And it's crazy because as soon as we ran out of money, Asha brought us to the wilderness.
As soon as we ran out of money, he took us straight to the wood. We was deep in the forest, man. I'm talking about, it's so pitch dark. You cannot see.
We didn't have no lights or nothing. Only thing we had was our phone.
That's it. And he would tell us sometimes, I don't want you using your phone. So we had to navigate in the dark, in the pitch darkness. I've shared videos of how the monkeys, how loud they are. We have beetles in there the size of our hand. I mean, snakes, all kind of stuff. But he said he would cease the evil beast out of the land. We're still alive today.
Man, I had a snake slither right past me.
Right past her. Before we came here, there was a snake hovering over her head as she was using the restroom. She didn't even know until she got up to flush the toilet. And she said, ah! It was like a lazy scream, holler for help. And I'm like, what's wrong, sister? It's a snake. I said, oh, okay. By the time I got there with the broom, the snake was crawling out the window. Asha ceased the evil beast, but he gave us a sign, because every time it's time for us to move, we see snakes. And so he gave the snake as a sign that we would be moving soon. And so now we're here. We did move. So Asha, he deals with us in so many ways, and not just us. I'm talking about us as a people.
Yes.
We just have to pay attention to his signs and his wonders. But he's calling us back to righteousness, brothers and sisters. Let it all go. It's nothing like righteousness, right? Everybody don't have to die. Everybody's not going to die. He's always saved the remnant. And I want to be part of that remnant. I hope you do too.
Yes.
Shalom.
I have y'all.
Shalom. Shalom.